and welcome to the Death Battle cast. We are the cast and crew of Death Battle and more for a very interesting, different episode. We'll see how this goes.
I gotta pull chat up.
Yeah, chat's important for whatever we're about to do. I'm Ben. I'm the voice of Wiz in that Death Battle show that we just talked about. That's Chad.
What is it? That Death Battle show. Yeah, hey, I play Boomstick.
He's the voice of Boomstick. Next to me is Liam Swan.
That's me. I'm Ryder.
He's Ryder. And then down there's Luis. Hey, Luis.
Yo, what's up? I'm the animation director.
Hey, Luis.
He's rocking out to something.
Yeah, I'm looking down at my desk. It looks like I'm looking down.
I'm excited, dude. I haven't been on cast in a long time.
Next cast, it should open up with all of us doing like a little head bop kind of thing.
I always do the head bop because it's a
you
bop.
Gotta head bop to the yeah.
So that's wait, dig into the chest.
I still remember when we used to do podcasting like in the building, and like every time before it started, like Chad was like, boom,
I know, yeah.
So fun.
Okay, so we're trying something new this week that will hopefully continue on into future episodes of Death Battle Cast throughout this year. Primarily because, hey, surprise, it's not a surprise. We've been talking about it way too much. Death Battle's 10 years old, and we're going to be trying some new stuff this year because of that. Yeah, we're super old, but still in elementary school. So we're trying something new on Death Battle Cast, and it is temporarily, I guess, called the Unscripted Death Battle. Working title. Let us know if you have a better idea for title. So here's the general idea. Chad and I both have a character, and we are going to present these characters kind of as if we're in a Death Battle research meeting. And typically what would happen in Death Battle research meetings is our researchers would come to me and the writer for the show, or whatever episode we're on, and whoever else is part of that meeting to present the research and who they think would win. The difference is that in that case, we're all on the same team. Yeah. In this case, this is Chad versus Ben. Like, I'm trying to convince these two fools, Liam and Luis, and you
guys in the chat,
that my character wins, and Chad is trying to do the same. So it's a little different from a typical research meeting. And this also means that if I think my character, if I personally think my character actually loses, too bad. I'm going to argue it anyway.
And there's nothing holding you back. You can make any argument that you want.
Exactly.
And what's really fun about this is this is a look behind the curtain, kind of, especially to the early days of Death Battle, especially. Which is just that, that's how we get to the results is, one person plays devil's advocate, or just Ben and I would just each argue a character until we finally couldn't argue one side anymore.
So this is still new. We'll figure it. We'll see how it goes.
We're still learning.
It might change a little bit over the next couple episodes. But the very first unscripted death battle will be, let's bring up that graphic, Aang versus Captain Planet.
Ooh.
I think everyone in the chat knows who I chose.
Yeah. All right. So Chad, who will you be representing today?
I will be representing Captain Planet, also known as the winner of this debate.
Okay. Well, I will be representing Aang, which also means I'm representing every single avatar in existence except for Korra. So got a numbers advantage already. Okay. So here's how this is gonna work. We're just gonna sort of present our cases and I guess argue with each other. We'll figure it out. And then by the time we get about halfway through the Death Battle cast, we will get votes from Liam and Luis to see who they think should win, as well as you guys. If you go into the live chat, if you're watching this live, by the way, we record the show live every Wednesday at noon Central Time, you will be able to vote in the poll. Should be up right now or very soon.
I see it.
Oh, there it is. I see it in the chat. Perfect.
Hey, look at that.
If you don't see it
and
yet,
I'll be clicking Captain Planet.
That's not fair. That's not fair. Wait, hold off on your votes.
Don't worry. Wait. Hold on. Don't worry about it. There's still 2 more votes that you have to convince. So, there is a chance of you winning.
So, and you can also, if you're watching on mobile, you can also type in 1 for Captain Planet and 2 for Aang. So that's going to be up throughout this entire thing, and we'll see how this goes. All right. So, I guess we can start with opening statements. I don't know.
Yeah,
sure. That's how these things usually work, right?
Convince us.
I forgot how unbelievably overpowered
You forgot to have an
Captain
opening
Planet
statement?
is.
Okay, so anyway,
Yeah.
Aang wins because... No, go ahead.
I forgot how unbelievably overpowered Captain Planet is. I do not remember some of this stuff. He used a tree to knock a spaceship back into space from just slightly above the Earth. He has control over all elements and then uses them to basically counteract. He's like dealt with every scenario where like an element's coming at him and he's used an opposite element. So for example, like a giant flood of a river was coming at him, so he just switched over to fire mode and like evaporated it. He can also, like, anything that a writer was like, that kind of makes sense, linked to an element he can do. So if, like, for example, a ship was stranded in sand and he was like, oh, I need to get it back into the ocean, I guess. And so he just shot some sort of lightning, which caused the sand to start spinning around it, perfectly creating a gigantic glass bottle with the ship inside of it. And then it just sails straight into the ocean. So for some reason, he seems to be able to, like, he could turn sand into glass and shape it perfectly. But one of the most ridiculous things that he might have, like, just complete transformative powers. He picks up a piece of sheet metal.
No.
I can do that.
A flat gray piece of sheet metal.
Here he goes.
And punched it into a colored, fully formed recycling bin.
Like he punched it and it like shapeshifted into a recycling bin?
Yes, he literally was boop, and then it becomes, that's the gif I sent you, Brian. I don't know if you want to pull it up. I this is the one I just really wanted to highlight because I was so baffled by what there. Look at this.
Exhibit A.
Look at this. Oh yeah, boom. There you go.
Oh my God.
Logo and all.
He-manned it.
So he seems to have some sort of like reality warping powers. And I'll start with his. I'll end with just talking about his durability. He has survived everything that you could think of, like buildings falling on him, explosions, there's this humongous laser that was on top of like a volcano, and like you see it blasting this like giant laser like through this like tree line, and like shit's like exploding and going, and for some reason Captain Planet's just like lying on the ground, and this humongous laser just goes across him, and he just goes, and then he's fine. So the only thing that can really stop him is pollution, and it's usually radiation, or smog. Smog is slower. Radiation is the real thing that seems to mess with him the most. But at the same time,
what about oil?
I didn't come across that, but I would not put it past. I could dig a little bit more right now to see, but I didn't see oil, but I could definitely see that.
I've seen him like caked in oil before. And he was like,
anything that counts as pollution, right? Wouldn't it
Yeah.
be?
Yeah,
Anything
but so
that counts
some
as polluted.
the real thing is just like, honestly,
Because-
that stuff, with how powerful he really is, that stuff should never be able to touch him. Like, he could just, like,
But
if
it
anything was
does.
getting close, he would just blast it away with wind or
he
water.
Is Captain Planet, though.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I mean?
what's really weird, is that like sometimes it's gonna be like in the show something like small, like, oh, just like one radiation blast, and he's like, oh, he returns to the rings, right? Other times he gets like nailed by like a ton of shit, and then still is like able to fly away.
like he
what
could
is it?
he
I
could
have
get
this
punched
jotted down.
really, really, really hard, and he'd be
Oh,
fine. But if it, like-
physical damage?
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
not
nothing.
matter. Like,
Yeah.
nothing. Anything like explosions, blunt trauma, piercing, like he just, every time he's just like, and it just like bounces off of him, and he's like, I don't give a shit. So he's basically invulnerable unless you can get him with some pollution.
Are we compositing with Don Cheadle, Captain Planet here?
Yeah, and he can turn people into fucking trees.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that.
That would probably be unfair.
real quick, someone in the chat pointed this out that in order to vote for mobile, you have to put like #1 or #2. You know, like number 1.
Oh, good
So
call.
you have to put you have to put the hashtag.
Yeah. And then,
Hash
but
that
like, just to give you
tag.
an example, so he like of why sometimes he just doesn't give a shit. He was hit by a beam of radiation that was focused on him for an extended period of time, which then caused him to fall into a pool of toxic waste. But then he just like flew away.
Fuck. That sucks.
Good
It sounds
for
like
him.
a terrible
Good for
afternoon.
him. I mean, okay. So
Good for
sure,
him.
Captain Planet can fly. Captain Planet's super strong. Captain Planet is invulnerable to everything but pollution and whatnot. Sure. Okay, that's fine. But we're talking about the Avatar here. We're talking about Aang, and Aang has countless generations of experience to draw from, especially through his Avatar state. Yeah, he can control elements, and I know that's not necessarily going to be much of a factor against Captain Planet, but it does give him an ability to overwhelm Captain Planet. He can control all 4 elements all at the same time, especially in his Avatar state. He can also fly with them, and he's beaten and been trained by some of the greatest warriors of his time. So I think it's going to be very difficult for Captain Planet to keep up with Aang's training and his martial arts ability, and B, just the amount of shit Aang can throw at him all at once, and C, just the Avatar state in general, and how many different people and experiences and the power level of that state is going to be tricky for him. And biggest thing, and I know people are gonna this is probably gonna be what makes or break this argument for everybody in the chat. If we're giving Aang elements to bend, he doesn't carry water with him. Earth technically is available pretty commonly, but not always. But we have to give him those elements in order for there to be a fight, right? Like in a death battle, we're not going to not give him water. So, reasonably speaking, he should also have access to pollution. He doesn't have blood. For this fight.
What? Sorry?
He should also have access to like polluted elements for this fight. There's no reason why he can't, based on our own rules. And we've seen him bend polluted elements before, polluted earth and polluted water. So all he has to do is find some polluted water. Captain Planet's dead. Easy. Done. It's over. Like, that's all he has to do. He can find it. And like, sure, Aang lives in like a feudal Japan kind of era or whatnot, but like a major aspect of that world is the industrialization of the Fire Nation, how they are basically polluting the entire world, sort of. There's a whole episode dedicated to it. So pollution's all around him in his own world. So why wouldn't we be able to give it to him for this fight?
Because I mean, honestly, I want to say like even if you did, it wouldn't matter. Because I feel because I feel like Captain Planet would just overpower whatever he's throwing at him. Like, to the fact, like, dude, like the show's so inconsistent because it's just written to be like environment's good, kids, and then also buy toys. Like. It's so ridiculous. He should never ever, like, when everybody shoots him with something, he should never ever get hit by it because he has all these like elements at his disposal. Also, with like the powers of heart, he seems to have control over like people's emotions and stuff. Like, he can control animals with it. He can contact people. He can influence their positive behavior, which is really weird. But also, like, sometimes he just turns into a fucking cloud. Like,
wait, what?
Yeah,
like, I've seen that turn into like a big cloud.
Yeah, like the torpedo is being fired at him, and then he was just like, "I'm a cloud," and the torpedo goes straight through him, and then he's just back to Captain Planet.
Would the pollution work if he turned into a cloud? I guess maybe smog would work in that instance.
Oh, that's interesting.
Why
I also have another
work?
question on top of that. Can Aang somehow bend Captain Planet if he turns into a cloud?
right.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's another thing. Okay, what is Captain Planet made of?
Here's also the thing though, Ben, that I didn't. There's probably the biggest argument to this. Aang wouldn't know to throw pollution at him. He wouldn't know. So even if there's like a barrel of oil or whatever like sitting by, like, I don't think he's gonna look at that guy and then be like, you know what, I'll pollute him. Like, there's
but Captain Planet likes to talk. Captain Planet likes to talk. He'd totally spill the beans. He totally explained it to him.
I don't like he likes to talk, but he'd be like, like, hey, clean up the environment and whatever. But I don't think he's gonna be like, by the way, don't get any of that shit on me because that's my weakness.
Captain Planet likes to talk. 2, once Aang enters the Avatar state, he's got hundreds of minds working at once. One of them's bound to figure it out. It's not just Aang that we're talking about here. So we got Kyoshi, Roku, and a bunch of other avatars swimming around the brain of it.
They're gonna see a blue-skinned man with green hair, and it's ready to fight them.
But like, he's made of the elements, right? He's composed of the elements, so Aang will be able to figure out that, like, hey,
wait,
when
that's
I
a good question,
earthbend, I can sense that he's earth. When I waterbend, I can sense that he's water. He might not necessarily be able to pull that apart, but he'll figure out that he's not fighting just some weird blue dude. Like, he'll figure out that the guy's made of elements and then try to take advantage of that.
Are the Planeteers included? Like if Aang was like shooting pollution at Captain Planet and the Planeteers just all ran up behind Aang and started like hitting him with like a steel chair or stuff. Like Mati or whatever the heart
no, I don't think we
like
need to give Captain Planet the Planeteers. In fact, the Planeteers don't even have to be like together to summon him. Like, really? Like they could be like literally all across the world, and as long as they were like Earth, Wind, Fire, Water, Heart, then like all the beams would just shoot together somewhere, and there would be Captain Planet. So
that's pretty cool. But if it's all elements, that means Aang can literally like just bend him into like to not be able to move, basically, to not be able to do anything, right? If that's the case.
I don't think so. It's like, weird because it's not like so the cloud thing, he just becomes a cloud. But like when he's using fire, he looks basically like the Human Torch, right? But he's like blasting fire in front of him. So
I mean,
I'm just using blood bending like logic for this.
In that sense, you could also argue that Captain Planet is bending elements when he uses them. So it might be a bending battle. Whose bending is strongest? If Aang's bending is stronger, then he could like puppet Captain Planet's body, but if Captain Planet's bending is stronger, he could just go and then be fine. He could be like Vegito as when he's like the little candy Vegito.
Okay, well then let's talk about strength of bending, because
Fazasa, however you said in the chat, says, I'm looking at Captain Planet gifts and he can turn into a thunderstorm. I cannot stress enough. Like when we talked about this, we were like, "Oh, this will be fun," because they both mess with the elements and they're against pollution and that. And then I just looked this up and I was like, "Aang is so screwed."
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, we've done an episode with Aang, so you can go check that out if you want to check out all of his feats. But like creating the canyon around the Earthbender city was a massive feat. He matches Toph, who was able to lift basically an underground city, the library. Like he matched Ozai when he didn't just match Ozai when Soza's comet was up. He literally took his bending away. Which, if you want to talk about overpowering somebody's bending, energy bending is all about that. And I don't know if Captain Planet has a weakness against or has a defense against energy bending at all, which is why I ask what he's composed of. Because is it possible? I think it might be possible that Aang could literally tear him apart with energy bending.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, that's an interesting theory. I would like to say also something I was thinking about in the previous thing. None of the elements will harm Captain Planet.
Energy bending isn't natural, in fact, like a fire, water, wind, or whatever. It's not that.
But just those in fact like strengthen him. Like he's able to draw power from fire, like a burning.
So
another reason why Aang will figure it out that he's made of elements.
So you're telling me if he falls in lava,
he's like, oh.
What are you saying?
You're telling me if he falls in lava, this man's gonna come out and be like, "Oh, I'm stronger now." It's like, what?
Probably.
The heck?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, because it's all about everything that the Earth is made of, right?
Yeah, and again, that's another way for Aang to figure out that this guy is made of elements. He's gonna shoot fire in his face, and he's gonna absorb it, and then turn into fire. And Aang's gonna be like, "Oh, clearly this is not a normal person."
Is Captain Planet like a Logia user? Is he like a One Piece Logia? Is he like Akainu? Is he like Enel?
Yeah,
Ace?
okay.
He's all of them combined.
You like cats? Everybody likes cats. I don't know if you have a little whiskered mister or if you don't, but this one right here is for our feline friends. Working from home means that a lot of us have got to spend more time with the cats. Me personally, don't have a kitty right now. I'm cat curious, looking at getting one. I've had many in the past, and I love them. But one thing I do hate about it, and one thing that being at home makes you realize, is that wow, that litter box smells. Well, I can't do swears, but it smells bad, right? And so yeah, if you're looking for a way to make this whole cat litter box changing thing a whole lot less of an issue, say hello to Kitty Poo Club. Kitty Poo Club is an all-in-one litter box solution designed to be convenient for you. Every month, Kitty Poo Club delivers an affordable, high-quality, recyclable litter box that's pre-filled with litter of your choice. The boxes are leak-proof, eco-friendly, and have a fun design for every season. When the month is up, just recycle the box. Kitty Poo Club will automatically deliver a new one to you. No changing used litter, no more cleaning the box, none of that stuff. You can customize your order based on how many cats you have, what type of litter they prefer. Everything you would hope's there is there. And Kitty Poo Club has a no-risk guarantee, and you can easily customize or cancel your order anytime. So, that's right. Go to Kitty Poo Club, and you're actually going to we have a special offer through them where you're going to get 20% off your first order when you set up auto ship by going to Kitty Poo Club and entering our promo code CAST. So just go to kittypooclub.com and enter the code CAST to get 20% off once you set up auto ship. That's kittypooclub.com, and don't forget to enter the promo code CAST, C-A-S-T, at checkout. Yeah, go check it out. It's awesome. Super great solution if you're a cat owner, and give it a try.
Seasball Dinner has a good question in the chat. Does Captain Planet have kids? Because he doesn't. And Aang has kids, and if you kill him, then you're killing some poor kid's dad.
Oh, okay. Well, now we're getting into the sympathy place. Right? You know what?
I want to back up to the energy bending.
Ryan, I sent you a GIF. I sent you a GIF that I'd like to bring up because I was saving this one because I wanted to have a fun little debate. Here's the truck full of pollution. There it goes! What? Into the fucking sun!
I was waiting. I was hoping you would miss this feat.
Casually throws it into the sun.
I know, that's what I love too. He didn't even arc all the way back. He just
it was like kind of like a...
You just gotta get rid of this real quick.
He has to throw it into the sun from Earth because Captain Planet actually loses power the further away he gets from Earth.
Right.
Unfortunately, that doesn't freaking matter against Aang because Aang's not going to fly up into space.
Well, Aang, Aang does have the power to launch. Technically, Aang has the power to launch Captain Planet into space.
He could launch him into space and keep
Captain
him
Planet
up
can fly. He could resist it.
He also just fly back.
Yeah, the airbending isn't going to do anything against him. I don't think there's anything stopping Aang from energy bending Captain Planet. Unfortunately, we don't really know too much about how energy bending would work on a non-bender.
Yeah,
I don't know.
because Captain Planet uses energy. Sometimes he'd blast just like an energy beam like out of his chest or whatever. But he also get
bending is less like physical energy and more like the spirit of a person.
Yeah, well, it's weird too because he also he comes apart and goes back together all the time.
That's
you know what I mean?
Well, is he ever blasted apart and then the power returns to the Planeteers?
Yeah. So I mean,
isn't that what happens every time?
Yeah,
when they summon him back.
Yeah.
Anytime that they have to be like make it seem like really dire for Captain Planet or whatever, there's been times where he was so effed up that he had to return to the rings or whatever, and so he dispersed back to all the different rings.
Right. Right. So
I honestly don't think he's killable. He can get, you can if you had an opponent strong enough, you could maybe get him to not strong enough, but who could just blast. It was made of pollution. That's it.
Sorry, Blarghale has a good point in the chat. Aang loses power the further he gets from the Earth too, because he can't breathe. Pretty accurate.
Very good point.
No.
He could maybe make an air bending bubble around himself in space if he brought some from Earth, but it would run out eventually.
Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then then he can't move.
Yeah, then he can't airbend because there's no air.
Yeah, and also I don't know if he's tough enough to survive the vacuum of space. I mean, would airbending be airbending can't be strong enough to create a vacuum or create a
It could shield. I mean, it's strong enough, but once he runs out, then his internal organs are going to start freezing and his eyes will explode and whatever.
Yeah.
Write
right,
that down,
all right.
Liam. Write that down.
Oh yeah, the only way really to kill him.
And then his guts will freeze over. Yeah. They get a
Yeah,
little
honestly, the only way I
descriptive
think you could actually fully kill Captain Planet is if you destroy the Earth. That's
there. 'Cause he's a spirit
the
of the
only
Earth,
way
right?
to
Can
take him
Aang
out for
energy
good.
bend spirits in the Avatar world? Because Captain Planet is like a spirit, right? He's like a summoned being.
Well, no, I don't know because it's like Gaia is the spirit of the Earth,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so he's like its defender. I don't know.
Gaia is the Valar, and Captain Planet is the Maiar.
Yeah, there
I
you
just
go.
watched Lord of the Rings,
Like,
his trilogy, last week. So
I've been making some big stretches here, Liam, and even I wouldn't go that far. Okay, closing statements. If you have not voted in the chat, please do so. We will get to the votes in just a bit. Aang, I'll start. So I know Captain Planet is super tough. He's gonna be tougher and faster physically. Of course he is, because he's a fucking He-Man character, basically. That kind of style of character. But I think Aang does have enough of an arsenal to pose a threat to him, especially if he's able to find some pollution. That's going to become a serious problem. And he has bent with pollution before, so I don't think it's unfeasible to include that in the fight in some way. And then second, energy bending. As far as I can tell, Captain Planet has no defense against energy bending. Sure, we don't know exactly how energy bending might affect somebody other than basically Ozai, but we have seen energy bending is able to basically take away bending and turn on bending, like in Korra. So theoretically, it could affect any element in any way. So if Aang can get his hands on Captain Planet, start doing energy bending. For one thing, Ozai was completely helpless against the energy bending, so it would stun Captain Planet and basically create that battle of wills. And then Aang just has to overpower Captain Planet's will in order to just blow him apart. And then he goes back into the rings. The end. KO. Problem solved.
There's no way you're overpowering the will of Captain Planet. He is like the will of the Earth incarnate. Like he has one purpose: protect the Earth. There's no way that this little boy is going to be able to overpower Captain Planet's will. Yeah, no, I just think
Aang did grow up. I do want to say that. He's like
I
little
know.
boy.
I know. But it makes it sound better for my argument. So I honestly think just Captain Planet is just way too strong and too tough, and like he would just overpower the ever living hell out of Aang immediately.
All right. Well, let's
see
see
truck
how
flying
well,
into the fucking sun.
Let's see how well our arguments held up. Starting with Liam. Who are you voting for?
So as much as I would like to meme vote Aang,
You're going to vote Aang.
I definitely
Okay.
gotta go. I gotta go with the captain on this one. I think he probably like kicks Aang, and then Aang's head goes into the sun.
Oh wow! Okay.
You're like, forget the elements. He's just gonna kick his head off.
I think he goes
Again, Liam,
"Fuck."
write that down for any future death battles.
Yeah,
For
writing
when
it
we
down.
do this episode,
Da, da, da,
that'll
da,
be the
da,
killing
da,
blow.
da.
All right, Luis, what's your vote? You're siding with me, right, buddy?
I mean,
Chum, pal?
the idea of like knowing what's gonna happen if like Aang tries to ban Captain Planet, it sounds interesting, but there's a lot of assumptions. So I think I'm gonna go with Captain Planet because it's a lot more clear. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man.
God damn it!
Also,
God damn it!
talking to the chat.
I mean, you almost convinced me. I'll tell you that much.
It's also
You
something in the
almost did.
chat on the
The energy
will
bending
stuff.
is interesting.
Hitler did not overpower Captain Planet's will. And by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is gonna get weird. Hitler didn't overpower his will.
Was polluting.
It's that Hitler was such a
considered pollution.
horrible, awful person that his presence and his pure hatred was a form of emotional pollution.
Whoa. Whoa.
I mean, I think that counts as
Hold on.
willpower.
Dang.
That's
He can't-
interesting.
He can't take his hatred, but Aang could take Ozai's hatred. Ozai was basically fire Hitler. So
Yeah, he was
You
fire
know. All right. So clearly, the group here has sided against me, but I want to know if you guys in the chat are on my side.
Everyone's against
So
me.
are we able to bring up the
Result?
result of the poll, Brian?
Oh,
Wow! Wait a second,
Wow.
that was
Closer
pretty
than I was
close.
that was a lot
Whoa.
closer than I was expecting.
Really?
too.
Those two bonus
Okay.
count. No. Sorry, man.
That's
All
hilarious.
right. Well, Captain Planet sweeps. Um,
The power is
Truthfully-
mine.
truthfully, I totally agree. Yeah. But that was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it's good. It's a
keep
really
working
good
on
effort.
that.
Really good effort.
Oh,
man.
Yeah,
thank
really, way to go.
You
What's
know,
funny is
looking-
when I just originally picked when you said, and I just like, oh yeah, I'll do Captain Planet, was because I know you're a huge fan of Avatar, and also I'm a bigger fan of Captain Planet from back in the day, and I did not do that because I did not remember just how stupid broken this
Mhm.
character
Oh, neither
was.
did I. Neither did I. To be honest, like I was like, oh yeah. I mean, we get this fight requested every so often. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I know Captain Planet's gonna be really tough, but like he's not like Superman, right? Pfft, surprise, surprise.
Yeah. I saw one feed of him throwing a nuclear power plant into the sun. And
Not just a truck, like a power.
and not
plant?
just a truck, like an entire
Yeah.
power plant, and one where he flew around the Earth so fast he was doing like the like the speed blur lines as he was like picking up like these huge domes, which had to have each weighed like they reached the size of a country. He was just flying around, and I think somebody calculated it to like 90% the speed of light.
God damn it! You're telling me that Chad won this and he didn't even come in with the best
Break
feats?
out the big guns. I was like, can I say anything?
That's funny. Well, so weird because most of his speed stuff that I came across, like aside from that ridiculous flight feat, which I didn't come across because I would have brought that up, most of his other speed stuff is like it's like bullet and like
Yeah.
torpedo level. So it's like that's why I don't really like focus on that because it's nothing super special. But
If he uses light, then there might be like a light speed feat somewhere of somebody reacting to it. If he does use light as an element, I don't know if he does. I'm just hypothesizing and betting. That
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'd love to know what you all think of this new idea. Obviously, this is still pretty bare bones, and we're gonna kind of grow it as time goes on. But let us know what you think, and if you think somebody else like Liam or Luis or Sam should get into the representatives chair. I don't really know what you would call speaker's chair, whatever.
Debater
to rep a
versus
character.
debater.
God help anyone who had to
Versus-
debate Liam.
So we're going to be doing this for a little while because, surprise, it's not just a one episode thing. We're going to be doing a tournament. Captain Planet is the first person into the bracket for the unscripted death battle tournament. Wow, that's going to be weird. But next episode of Death Battle Cast, we will establish who the next person in the tournament bracket is, and so on, and we'll be moving forward through that. How big this tournament bracket's going to be, honestly, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. No, we got a plan. It'll be great. But until Death Battle comes back, we're going to be running through this, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you all for voting. Thank you all for participating. Love the comments in the chat that we were able to
that
bring
was really
into the
fun.
discussion too. That was
Yeah.
awesome. Maybe we can incorporate that even more in the future because that's fun. Like because not
And
only
incorporate-
Liam and Luis and whoever asking questions, but are interjecting with their own info with the chat as well. And that's I think that's really fun. Making it completely integrated with everybody. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well. That was fun. I'm excited to do more of that in the future. But right now, let's go ahead and jump into what is going on. And so for the What's Going On segment, for the foreseeable future, we are going to be doing questions from you guys. Anything that you want to know, you can let us know on Twitter using hashtag DeathBattleCast or on the Death Battle group on roosterteeth.com, or just send it to us however you can find. But those are probably the best ways to send questions, and we will answer them here. So the first one that we're going to be doing for today, or at least the one we will be doing for today, is actually one that we answered last week, but Luis was not on. So Luis, I want to get your answer to this question from Awesome Ethan. What's the process for creating the cover art for each music track, and how long does it take from rough idea to final product?
Well, I'll tell you this much. It probably takes about the same day. It's like concept and finalize really. And the process is pretty straightforward. I just kind of go over the director of the episode and just kind of go, hey, what kind of things do you want to implement for the album cover? And we just kind of brainstorm some ideas. I make some rough drawings and stuff, and we kind of like from there we kind of figure out what we want. And after that, recently I would just go to Blender and just kind of make a 3D model of the album cover, and that's pretty much the process. Really, it's a lot of fun, and it's like one of those things that like really helps break up the dev battles in between. You know what I mean? Like it's a good thing to do in between projects and stuff. So yeah, it's always fun to do those. But yeah, it's usually like collaboration between the director and myself, and yeah, tons of fun.
What kind of programs do you use to make it?
I use Animate because it's the program I know to kind of sketch stuff up, and I use a combination of like Animate as well as Blender to make the cover arts. At least recently, before it was just Animate and just kind of make everything there. But now I just use Blender a lot more because it's like my everyday program now. Like if I need something, I'll just jump into Blender instead of like anything else. Just yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see that progression, especially like even just last year, where you started incorporating like 3D elements, and you even made like an animated like reveal for the Broly Hulk music.
Yeah,
I just had a lot of fun. Yeah, I was super excited for that track, so I wanted to like really like kind of like show it off and like really like get people excited for that fight. So like I don't think I'll do that for like all the cover arts, but like I hope I can end up like doing that kind of stuff in the future more, you know.
If you want to see the art before anybody else, be sure to follow CV Animation on Twitter. That's what it is, right? CV Animation.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where he posted the video of like the big reveal of the Broly Hulk music art. It was way more epic than I guess it's exactly as epic as it had any right to be, because like that was a pretty epic track and a pretty epic fight.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, like it's always fun to work on those kind of projects, and hopefully, like as I keep making those album covers, they get progressively better.
Renek wants to know in the chat which is your favorite cover art that you made?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, probably it has probably between the Ikari and the Corona Venom one. Between those two, it's like my favorite one so far. But there's like that's between the Blender ones, because I'm just like that's right now what I have in my mind. But like some of the old ones that I really like, probably the Thanos versus Darkseid one. I thought that was kind of clever because it was the Omega symbol, and then inside the Omega symbol was the the actual Infinity Gauntlet. So like it was really cool.
And that was really stylized too, so it looks really neat.
And probably not one that I worked on, but Al did, is the Genos versus War Machine one. That one's like crazy awesome, and like you can really tell that he went all out with that one.
Awesome. I do want to point out, a couple of people are asking like, are we going to get a season 8 reveal or tease or anything like that? So not just yet. Again, season 8 of Death Battle begins March 7th of this year. We will be talking more about that in the later episodes of Death Battle Cast. So please stay tuned, and thanks for your patience. But we are excited to share an epic 10-year celebratory season with you.
And if you look for that, if you look through our history, we definitely like making teasers.
We do.
Yep. Pretty damn good odds that when we're getting close to the new season, you'll get something.
You might get an announcement video. You just might. Who knows?
If it seems like I've hinted something, it's probably just me lying.
All right. Well, now it is time to jump into the community death battle.
I don't know about y'all, but these days I do more online shopping than any other kind of shopping. So That's where Honey has came in super handy. If y'all don't know about Honey yet, that's crazy, but let me tell you about it. Honey is a browser app. It's a free browser extension that scours the internet for all sorts of promo codes and automatically tells you them when you're checking out. Honey basically does that whole online promo code search thing for you instantaneously. It even works on sites like the Rooster Teeth store. And yeah, it's just such an easy way to save yourself money, and you have to do pretty much nothing. Just install this browser. Like here, let me break it down how it works. So you get Honey on your computer for free with 2 clicks. And then whenever you check out at like over 30,000 supported sites, we're talking, it's like the Amazons, the everything, like I said, even Rooster Teeth store, Honey pops up and it'll say apply coupons. And you just click it and it runs through every available coupon it has, it gives you the best deal it can find. And then boom, you saved yourself some money. It's that easy. So Honey has found over 1.7 million members and saved those 1.7 million members over $2 billion. So it adds up, and it's quite a lot. It's a super useful tool. So it's simple. If you have a computer, Honey should be on it. It's free, and it works with whatever browser you use. You can get Honey for free today at joinhoney.com/dbc. It's joinhoney.com/dbc. So joinhoney.com/dbc, and yeah, tell them we sent you there. You can also find that link down in the description. Anyways, back to the show.
So this might be a little weird at first because we are taking some ideas from Community Death Battle into the unscripted Death Battle. But we are still doing Community Death Battle, and we got some fun ones planned for it. But this week we have Cole McGrath versus Alex Mercer, a matchup that has been requested since day one of Death Battle, and the popularity of it has gone in and out over the years. So we'll see what people think of this. Yeah. So as always with Community Death
Infamous
Battle
versus Prototype.
Yep, exactly. It's kind of the opposite of what we're now doing with unscripted Death Battle. It's not us making the arguments, it's you guys. So let's go ahead and bring up the first answer for this matchup.
This one comes from Michael Thomas. Michael says, Alex survived a nuke that was 5 times more powerful than Nagasaki, while Cole almost died from a down-level explosion. Alex is stronger in physical strength, and it would be easy for Alex to consume Cole. Alex is not weak to electricity, he just gets stunned by it. Alex for the win.
Clearly
Stunned by it. it's a
No, I think it's more like
little less effective than stunned.
He was getting stunned, he's right? He held out the U.
No.
Stunned.
All right.
It's terrible.
I tried to have your back, Michael, but they all just threw away. They were insistent on making fun of you for making one small little typo. Hey, I appreciate you as a fan, and thanks for interacting and taking the time to do that. Way to go.
You are stunning. Instead of stunning. That was a little thing I was doing there.
I think it's followed by explain. Oh, God. We were doing so good. All right.
That's our writer.
I am the writer. I always said this is the writer. Yeah, I am the writer.
I just think Liam just likes to fight. That's why he works on the show.
Yeah, I like to scrap.
Liam has a passion for just pissing people off.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
I'm only just slightly disappointed that you don't have glasses, because I just would love if, like, when you're getting heated, to see you do the
to do the thing. Well, I love to do it. Like even without the glasses.
Those
some
blue
light
glasses?
glasses. Oh, I have some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some of those.
Hang on.
somewhere.
Let me
Give
do
them to me.
That way I
Give
can
them
do
to me.
it.
Well, actually,
let's go ahead and bring up the answer for the next character.
Great.
Who the fuck is it? Cole.
All right, this one comes from Red Runner. Cole. Alex's blacklight virus is explicitly weak to extreme cold temps, which Canon Good Cole brings with ice powers. Alex was blown apart by a nuke with a stated 75 kiloton yield, while Cole survived the epicenter of a blast of 15 meters, I think, or mountains. Megatons. There we are. Thank you. Cole's about to put Alex on ice. Ooh, and the pun.
Wait a minute.
whoa.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, there's a disagreement. There's a disagreement
Yeah.
here.
Can we bring up that Alex answer again?
So Alex strength is where's that?
Survived.
He
the nuke
survived
was
a
5
nuke.
times more powerful
Yeah.
than Nagasaki.
So 75 kilotons, which is the other answer site, is 5 times more powerful than Nagasaki, if I'm recalling correctly. It was around like 11 to 15 kilotons.
Wait, why?
But they're saying that Cole has a better feat.
Hang on.
Megatons is
we
city
have
level.
diverting information because
Yeah.
one of them says he survived and one of them says he died.
Oh,
Maybe
it's-
double
maybe-
check.
Oh no, he got the
yeah.
bad ending. No.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that might be what it is. I don't know. I don't think I ever played Prototype. Sorry.
Well, that's interesting. Well, and then now that leads me to say, were there 2 instances of him being
this is from-
nuked?
This is from Prototype 2 because he's the villain or whatever in Prototype 2,
Yeah.
right?
Did he survive one and then another one killed him later that was just more powerful?
That
He was
might
killed
be
by
what it
James
is.
Heller.
Or maybe he
in
just
2, I
takes
think.
2. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like he has 2 hits, like a video game character from like an NES era. So just 2
He
hits.
did.
CSK says, "Yep,
die
Alex
from a
got
nuke.
splattered by the nuke."
He got
He did
splattered.
die from the
Did he
nuke.
like pull himself back together?
He
regenerate?
Oh,
I don't know. It's
Oh.
just
Alex has
about
died
Prototype
to
or-
electricity
So this
before-
is spoilers for Prototype 2. He drops a nuclear bomb into the Atlantic Ocean, allowing it to detonate
What a dick.
with himself in the radius. His remains wash up on the shore. He's dead, basically, but he takes human form after consuming a cow that attempted to devour him. That's one hell of a sentence.
Wait, what?
Bro,
So
listen.
he-
some days you
he
get
dies.
nuked, and all you need is a good meal. All right.
He was
One good cow.
mush on the ground. A
Yeah.
cow walked up to eat him, and
Yeah.
instead of eating him,
Ew.
the cow got sucked
Yeah, got
into
eaten.
him
Yeah.
and turned him, and he became human form.
Okay, so he is the idea that like Alex, his like his consciousness died, but the protoplasm, whatever he's made out of in Prototype, I don't know what it is.
Oh, wait,
Like,
that's
was
Prototype
able to
So
1.
you're,
survive.
talking like,
Sorry.
you're talking about like cell memory, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made it look like him, but he technically in that case, yeah, he technically died, but it's still his essence still survived.
I don't think it would
Even
be
if-
clone. I think this is more just like his essence is within the cells and the goop and the stuff, right? And
Right.
So like,
Okay.
like, he was out of
didn't-
commission, and like the real question is like, would the goop have then expired
right.
if it had just been staying
Hadn't
there,
had
or would the
something to
goop be
absorb.
ever present until something finally came along for it to eat
Right.
and he could
I
restore
feel like
himself?
I feel like that whole
Oh,
cow's
okay.
situation. is
Oh,
kind of
crow.
analogous.
For some reason,
It's
I'm
a
saying
crow.
cow. It's a crow. That's
Wait,
my bad. I
ah.
completely misread that.
Damn.
Okay, that
No,
fits
I
so
want
much.
to-
I will say, the crow fits so much better with like
Yeah.
that game
Yeah, but
because like
I want it to be a cow.
That makes sense. Like a crow is all
Makes a
edgy and
little bit
starts to
more
like
sense.
peck, and then it's like now
Well,
I'm
yeah,
back to
and
being an
cows
edge
are
lord, and then,
herbivores,
as
they
opposed to a
wouldn't eat-
cow.
Cow
I want it-
is
I want it
way
to be a cow,
funnier,
though.
I
Cow,
agree.
cow is more earthworm Jim.
It's hilarious. Like it makes some horrible cow sound as it's being devoured.
I
Girl
just imagine
Bessie's
this huge
going
cow
down.
and suddenly there's nothing, and then like this little goop turns into a human. It's like, whoa, I'm alive.
Yeah.
So this is spoilers for Prototype 2. Alex didn't die by nuke. He died by getting beaten by Heller, who we play as in Prototype 2, and then Heller consumes Alex. So he's killed by the other prototype by doing the prototype absorbing thing. So Alex might be indestructible against anybody who isn't a prototype man. I don't know. Do they have names? Whatever.
Guys, I don't know. I don't know where to go.
You
on
could
this one.
vaporize. I
Like-
mean, you could like Cole does have lightning that could vaporize him and ice that could freeze him.
I did like the argument that he's weak to the extreme cold temperatures, and so he
Yeah.
could be frozen.
And I think he is weak to electricity. I mean, I guess I'm going off of my memory and against not what the tweets say.
Okay,
But I do recall
yeah,
him actually
yeah.
being-
But this is that argument that we always have. When does somebody have resistance, or like
Yeah.
immunity versus like, or it's like this? It's like the Superman thing with magic, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not that Superman is weak to magic; it's just that he doesn't have any defense against magic, right?
Yes.
So that is what's here. It's just like electricity hurts him because it's fucking
It's
electricity.
electricity. Yeah.
So,
Right,
okay, the
right.
question is, could Alex just absorb Cole? Is that, I'm not familiar with the extent of his powers in that way. Like, if Cole blows him up,
Yeah.
and Alex is just a pile of mush on the ground, if Cole gets anywhere near him, could he just suck him up and then become himself again? Like, is that how this battle ends?
Right.
Like,
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm honestly just not aware of if that's how it might end. Like, that's freaking wild if that is. But yeah, okay. There are a couple of people in the chat mentioning the cold temperatures, like you were saying, Chad. So that definitely seems like it's his best advantage in this
Also,
regard.
the Cole argument had a pun, so I'm gonna go with Cole. Weighing in.
All right. Well, as always, it's not up to us who wins; it's up to you guys. So let's go ahead and bring up the poll from Twitter. See who wins between Cole and Alex. And it's Cole, 57% to 42.8%.
What do you call him again, Ben? Who the fuck name is Cole? What was it?
I don't remember who the fuck Cole. All right.
His win would be cold.
I already did that pun 20 seconds ago.
Did you really? I didn't hear
Yes,
that. Sorry, there's a lot of chatter.
It doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Yeah. I mean, if Chad says it, it just like overrides.
It was funny when
whoever
Chad said it.
before.
It was cringy when I said it.
Yeah, there you
Which
go.
does
You get
is
it
in
now.
It's all
keeping.
Liam. It's all about the delivery.
Which
all right?
is why in Death Battle episodes I have Boomstick Chad say my puns because the comedy cringe cancel each other out.
unless Chad decides that he doesn't like the pun and he makes up one of his own.
Lately, I've just been adding instead of replacing.
All right. So the next community death battle is one that I think was brought up last week. I can't remember if it was on the show or on Death or Sudden Death, but I love this idea so much. And I think it was from somebody in chat. Unfortunately, I don't have it written down who it was, but it is Battle of Springs.
The one that I called out at the end. Yeah.
Yes. Springman from Arms versus Springman from Mega Man.
So good.
That's so funny.
So,
Which
Springman versus Springman. Let us know who you think would win and why using hashtag DeathMetalCast on Twitter.
This
Try to clarify which Springman you're talking about, if you can.
Springman feels like a Mega Man 8 Robot Master. Am I wrong? That seems very like Mega Man 8. This is really weird. We're running out of ideas.
Which
Robot
Mega
Master.
Man he's from, but he's definitely from a classic Mega Man game, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So let us know who you think would win in a death battle between Springman.
Mega Man 7. So close.
Seven.
Mega Man
Close.
7.
And there will be a poll on the Death Battle Twitter later on this week that you can vote on, and we will cover that in the next episode of Death Battle Cast, as well as the next unscripted Death Battle, I believe, with a special guest.
It was awesome Ethan's idea, by the way.
That's awesome. Ethan.
Perfect.
Yep.
Awesome, Ethan got the question and the community death battle.
But Mr.
Excellent.
Rice, do you remember early on, before really diving into just how overpowered Magneto is? Remember we talked about debating Magneto versus Magnet Man, and one of the things that we were arguing about was if they could actually even get near each other.
Polarity is just like they keep pushing against each other. What are they gonna do? Yeah, but then Magneto just blows up the planet. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you all for joining us for another episode of Death Battle Cast. Again, let us know what you think of the unscripted Death Battle idea. If you have any ideas for it, especially a name, I'll take those. And we will see you in the next episode.
Bye, everybody.